Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Adam Shapiro and I'll be your moderator for the next 45 minutes or so. We hope everyone's digital strategy is off to a great start here in 2015 and hope that everyone walks away with some new ideas for today. So today's speakers include Susie Merriweather from Mozu and Doug Dillon and Christina Anderson from American Eagle. To start off, Susie Merriweather leads the product marketing team with responsibility for translating global retail trends into product strategy for both platforms, Volusion and Mozu. She has over 20 years of industry, product, and marketing experience for software companies and is passionate about helping B2C companies deliver customer experiences across the entire customer lifecycle. Doug Dillon is the Director of Integrations at AmericanEagle.com. Doug has been in the website design and development industry for over 15 years, having done almost every aspect of the business, including web design, database development, programming, and project management. As a longtime system architect for AmericanEagle.com, Doug specializes in planning data integrations between content management systems and other software platforms. Doug has extensive experience in e-commerce as he helped several clients reach their business goals over the previous years. Christina Anderson, Senior Digital Strategist at AmericanEagle.com, has over 10 years of experience working with clients to evaluate business goals and establish effective web strategies, assessing site design, UX, IA, functionality, integrations, online marketing, mobile, platform selections, etc. Christina specializes in e-commerce from both a B2C and B2B organization standpoint, with clients including BloomNet, Medline, Candy Warehouse, Mailboxes.com, and more. I'd like to start off just introducing the two companies represented on today's call. Mozu is the cloud commerce platform that enables retailers to manage their commerce, content, and customer experience across every channel and on any platform. With endless extensibility, customizations, and refreshing usability, Mozu prepares retailers to free themselves from the hassles of managing a homegrown system, evolve beyond the limitations of a legacy platform, and solve complexities of omni-channel shopping. AmericanEagle.com is an industry leader in website design, development, hosting, and marketing. Essentially, a one-stop shop offering a full range of solutions for any organization looking to succeed in their online endeavors. Since 1995, AmericanEagle.com has completed more than 6,000 web projects for nearly every type and size of organization in nearly every industry, including small companies, startups, Fortune 500 companies, professional sports teams, and manufacturers of niche products. We are recording today's webinar, and we will send attendees a link to the recording presentation and PowerPoint slides within the next couple of days. Today, we will cover hyper-convenient experiences, hyper-personalized experiences, as well as 3 takeaways for you to consider when moving forward with your digital strategy. At the end of the webinar, our presenters will answer questions. Please feel free to post these questions throughout the presentation in the chat box of your webinar toolbar. With that, I'll pass it over to Susie.
Great, Adam, and thanks and hello to everyone. And so to kick this off, I'd like to take you through the importance of hyper-convenient experiences. And the first thing about hyper-convenient experiences is the experience you have on all devices. Everybody, we're all addicted to our smartphones and tablets, everyone from the oldest to the youngest, and we all expect to shop on our smartphones or tablets just the way we used to shop from our PC. So for example, we expect the experience to be very, very fast. We expect to easily search for what we want and to find it. And we want easy checkout. Bad design of mobile checkouts are one of the top reasons shopping carts are abandoned. So at the end of the day, hyper-convenient experiences are really important because people buy from retailers when it's easy and even fun, and a bad mobile experience or a bad experience reflects badly on the brand or the retailer. So why is a great consistent experience relevant? Well, I think we all know that you start your search for a product on one device, use another device to browse, and then another to buy. And retailers are responding to this multi-device shopping journey But what I see is they're only picking easy places to make it consistent. So they'll make their home page responsive and work on all devices, but as you click into the products, you get a different experience, or it doesn't size, or it's not easy to do. And I say shame on those retailers, because that's not enough. Every page and every interaction needs to be consistent across all devices. And furthermore, I should be able to add an item to my cart on one device, and then when I go back later on my other device, it should be there and allow me to continue my shopping journey. Until now, this has been a very manual process for retailers to manage different sites across different devices of different sizes. And if your e-commerce platform isn't making it easy for you to do it, you need to go back and talk to them, because that's such a fundamental requirement of today's shopping journey. You should be able to update from a single admin console, you should be able to make changes to your website and have it immediately reflected on every device of every size. You should be able to set up product faceting and search and have it work automatically on every device of every size. You should be able to set up promotions and discounts and have it automatically work on every device and every size. And like I said, persistent shopping cart. One of the areas I think is key to be redesigned is the checkout page. This is an area where we put some stuff in our cart, we start having second thoughts. If it's awkward or cumbersome or long and wants lots of information, people are going to abandon it. And as I've been testing out different sites, I think the checkout page is ripe for redesign. It's all about speed and simplicity. And if you as a retailer haven't done a complete critical review of your checkout page in the last 12 months, well, I think it's about time. So I'd like to hand it over to Christina to share some statistics on why the checkout page is so important.
Thanks, Susie. Yeah, the e-commerce industry average for cart abandonment is 68%. With the saturation of mobile devices, it's definitely time, like you said, to redefine what we consider to be best practices in the checkout process. There are definitely smarter ways to get the same info with less steps and a cleaner interface. So how do we do that? We need to ask for less and show less. So let's talk about asking for less. First and foremost, we really need to rethink the registration process. 24% of users will abandon their carts when they are forced to register. So that concept in and of itself is really nothing new. Certainly that's been a part of the best practice dialogue for some time now. And the answer to that really has been, over the past few years here, what we see in that screenshot on the left, this interim page that users are forced with at the beginning of a checkout process to kind of read and decipher these three different options. The option to either sign in with an existing account, register for a new account, or go down the path of guest checkout. So, you know, looking forward to the future, this is a very complicated screen that really serves no purpose. If we look at the screenshot on the right, you can see here that users are just immediately funneled right into guest checkout, and any returning customers have the ability to simply sign in with that button. So there's no barriers preventing the user from immediately diving into the checkout process. So the other big thing to consider here in asking for less is reducing the amount of required information. This applies to several fields within the checkout, including giving users the option to use a saved credit card or always starting with a default shipping method. However, what is really in need of the biggest overhaul in the checkout process is looking at that traditional workflow for entering in addresses. So the typical process here is kind of following the same format of the handwritten envelope, where you enter in the name and the address line 1, address line 2, city, state, zip. Really the approach now that we can use with technology at hand is, like on the screenshot at the left there, is doing an autofill. So as the user starts entering in their street address, you can see the different options popping up. So the user can select that, and that will all pre-fill in the checkout. Or like on the option in the screenshot on the right, the zip code is actually positioned first, And based on that zip code being entered in, the city and state is auto-filled. So definitely saves an extra step or two in the checkout process for the user. So in addition to reducing the process flow in the checkout, the design of the checkout interface should definitely follow suit. Here again, because of the saturation of mobile devices, it's definitely time that we look at decluttering the checkout design, which will focus the users at the task at hand, which is getting through the checkout. So a good example is in this screenshot. You can see this design would lend itself very well to mobile devices, and the same design translated to desktop creates a very linear three-step process all on one page. So many sites are also now stripping away the site navigation in the checkout process. You'll see that on sites like Amazon and Walmart, Target, all of the big box retailers. And that same principle can apply to really any retailer. We can remove that site nav and allow the interface of the checkout to really shine through and keep users focused on just getting through that checkout process. So whether users are checking out on a mobile device or a desktop device, the needs for the user are really the same. A smart, clean checkout process that gets them on their way quickly. And in this day and age, convenience is definitely king, which leads us to our next discussion here on faceted search that Doug will take you through.
Thanks, Christina, and good morning, everybody. If you have a fairly sizable online catalog with lots of product options for your customers, having faceted search or faceted navigation can be a huge key to the success of your store. With faceted search, we use tagging to add attributes to all the products within your catalog. And once a customer selects a category or a section of your online catalog from your site's navigation or menus, customers may have way too many product options to page through. The facets or tags are then used to group products in large result sets together using their shared attributes. On screen, we display a list of shared facets or attributes, and as a customer selects the attribute, the result set will be filtered to narrow down only the products that meet that requirement. So this allows customers to choose their own navigation path to find the products that they're interested in, and the customer will choose the facets that are really most important to them. They'll choose the attributes that reflect their main motivation for making a purchase, such as maybe they're only interested in this brand, or perhaps they only want a blue tie to match a shirt they already have, or perhaps they're only interested in TVs less than $800. And the best part of faceted search is that it works for all types of products. If your site is selling sporting apparel for numerous brands, we might use facets like brand, price, color, material, size. But if your product's more technical or mechanical, we can use and tag products with technical attributes like measurements, strength, capacity, and output. So the tagging is really just applying a name and value pair tags to the product records so that facets of any type can be used to allow your customers to filter through the catalog. The next item I'd like to discuss is the importance of integrating your e-commerce solution with your back office software and other external software systems. In the diagram you see here, you can see the customer journey as they shop online, place an order, all the way to fulfillment and possibly returning or canceling items within the order. And within these different steps, below each item, you can see the typical integration points where your e-commerce platform will need to integrate with these external systems. So while a customer is browsing your online catalog, much of the data they see, such as products, inventory, and pricing, might be managed separately in your back office software, your ERP platform. We typically see the need to integrate customer data, product information, inventory, and pricing information. And the most important item to the customer as they're browsing is the availability of the products. And we'll discuss real-time inventory integration in detail in a minute. But as the customer moves on to place the order during the shopping cart and checkout screens, there's a need to integrate the e-commerce platform with other third-party software such as address verification systems, tax providers, payment gateways, and customer loyalty systems. And once the customer places the order, there's a need, again, to integrate with your back office software to push that order through for fulfillment and ensuring the order is picked and packed, shipping labels are printed, and payment is captured. Customers today want to choose when and where they want to shop. And in order to keep up with their expectations and provide a seamlessly blended experience between your offline and online channels, inventory visibility and integration really is at the core of that experience. In order to make this happen, we have to provide real-time integration between the e-commerce platform and your back office system. most likely that ERP platform, or the inventory management system, or in some cases, maybe even the point of sale software. It used to be enough solely to integrate an aggregate inventory level for each product to the e-commerce platform, just to ensure that the inventory was available somewhere for a given product before we allowed an order to occur online. But today, this integration needs to be more granular. We have to do more than just show if an item's in stock. If you have brick and mortar stores, we can use geo-IP lookups and zip code searches to allow customers to see if a specific product is in stock at the store. And it's also important to display to customers when an item will ship, or if the item currently is not in stock, when an item's inventory will be restocked and replenished. And now that we've expanded your inventory visibility online, it's important to deliver on the convenience that integration can provide to your customers. First, we start with allowing customers to purchase online and pick up from the store on the same day. We're allowing the items to be shipped to the store for a customer to pick up. And this capability takes more than just data integration. Having a separate department or utilizing the existing customer service department at the store for internet pickups would be ideal to ensure the order is prepared for the customer in advance of the actual pickup. And the internet customers are then not conflicting for resources with your in-store customers. Allowing customers to return or exchange items they purchased online at the store also provides a great level of convenience without having to ship items back to the retailer. And although this can be a great convenience to the customer, it takes a lot of planning and setup for the retailer to ensure that the stores can access their online order information, how to handle returns if the items is only sold online, and how to process refunds if the accounting systems are separate. Another touch point to consider between online and offline channels is your customer loyalty program. 42% of customers expect a similar experience regardless of channel. And it's important to ensure that the discounts and points you offer to existing customers are integrated both within stores and online. And the last hyper-convenient feature you can provide customers is the ability for them to make in-store purchases using mobile payments. And this would allow the customer to pay for purchases without ever taking their credit card out of their wallet. Now I'll hand it over to Susie to discuss the hyper-personalized experience.
Thanks, Doug. So we've talked about hyper-convenient, and now that it's convenient for all of us to find what we want and it's easy to buy, let's talk about making it personalized to the consumer. Consumers want it, everyone's talking about it, but Doug and Christina, I find that very few retailers are actually doing it. And I believe that the retailers who figure this out will amaze and engage their customers, and they'll be the retailers around in 5 years who are thriving, not just struggling to survive. So the first part for hyper-personalized communications, obviously, is to group your customer in segments. One of the simplest is male, female, or current customer versus known customer, and then grow into lifetime value. Once you have this type of segmentation, you need to then personalize their shopping path. Start simple with promotions and grow from there. As a shopper, and I'm a very avid shopper, I appreciate retailers who track my lifetime value. And we know that the technology exists for this, and it should be very easy for retailers to track that. And then when you have my lifetime value, you need to use that data and you need to use it appropriately. Now, if I'm a first-time visitor to a site, I like to be offered a purchaser discount. Sign up for a newsletter and I'll give you 20% off your first purchase, right? That pulls me in. But as my value to a retailer grows, I want a discount relevant to me, my purchase path, and my interests. And again, we go back to the hyper-convenience. These discounts need to work across all devices. So if I'm offered a discount when I'm shopping on my PC, doing some heavy-duty shopping, and then maybe I go to my iPhone to look up something while I'm sitting on the subway, I need to get the same discounts and offers and promotions. So personalization also needs to be convenient. To take us into more details on that, I'd like to turn it over to Christina, who's got some great stats. Christina?
Thanks. So Susie mentioned consumers want personalization these days, and you can see some stats here to support that. So looking at that middle one, 75% of U.S. consumers like when brands personalize messaging and offers, so they are more relevant. So with sites like Amazon and Netflix widely being used out there, they serve up explicit recommendations based on users. Consumers are definitely coming to expect this level of personalized treatment. Too often sites are really missing the opportunity to personalize content, and they serve up the same featured or related items to all users. So this really desensitizes users to this generic messaging and gives them opportunity to ignore it and really kind of disengage with your brand and click away from the site. I'll use the example of a kind of beauty or cosmetics retailer, right? So me as a female, what I would love to see going to that site are personalized recommendations based on who I am, based on the profile data that I've submitted, based on the fact that I have fair skin and reddish hair and green eyes. I want to see a skincare product with sunscreen in it because I burn easily, right? Rather than just seeing all of the generic featured items that they serve up to everybody. It's also more important than ever with users browsing on one device and purchasing on another to personalize your email marketing. So you can set up automatic drip campaigns for abandoned carts or send emails that promote a particular shopping category that a user visited in their last session. So for example, using that beauty cosmetics retailer again, if I had last been browsing in the skincare department, send me an email showing me a promo for skincare or just promoting the skincare line in general. So that way, if I've abandoned the site on my mobile device and come back or have the intention to come back later on my desktop, don't leave it just to chance. Send me an email and get me thinking about it again and re-engage with your site. Users are definitely more committed than ever to making purchases online, yet also more demanding than ever. So as a consumer, I want to find products really simply, checkout should be really fast, and messaging should definitely be specific to me, no matter what device and definitely no matter what channel. So as a retailer, focusing on hyper-convenient and hyper-personalized experiences for your users will align your efforts with today's consumer expectations.
All right, thanks, Christina. And now we'll move on to the top 3 takeaways for today's discussion. So our goal would be to start with the low-cost efforts or the low-hanging fruit. We'd start by ensuring your e-commerce store is on a modern and agile platform such as Mozu that will support all your needs now and going forward. And we'd implement a site that provides a solid base for success with responsive design and an optimized checkout process. We'd also ensure that we're properly collecting the right customer information so that you can learn more about your customers, as well as start to segment them into groups to provide a foundation for personalization. And we'd also create an integration plan and a process flow that will connect all your physical and digital entities within your company. And once the new web store was up and running, we'd build upon that foundation. First, we'd use the customer segmentation to deliver relevant promotions and discounts to your customers. We'd also continue to improve upon the foundation by implementing the latest advanced features. And we'd also implement a multi-channel integration strategy, as well as work on increasing traffic to the site through SEO, SEM, and online marketing. And in the final stage, we'd implement a customer engagement strategy that would provide that personalized messaging. And we'd work to enable omni-channel convenience programs such as purchase online with the in-store pickup and customer loyalty program that hits all the online and offline touch points. And then we'd also work to improve the ongoing performance of the web store through A/B testing, multivariate testing, and conversion rate optimization. And with that, we'll move on to your questions.
Thanks, Doug. A lot of great information was shared today, but we want to take the time, obviously, to answer any questions you might have. As a reminder, if you have any questions, feel free to submit them through the GoToWebinar chat box, and we'll be sure to get to those questions. Why don't we start off with the first question I'm seeing for Susie, which is, how does Mozu support sites on a different device?
Adam, thanks. That's a great question. So Mozu is the most modern e-commerce platform. It was architected after the iPhone completely changed the way you and I shop. So as part of that, it was designed with responsive at its core. So when you design your site on Mozu, you use the responsive design paradigms with the different breakpoints for the different devices, then Mozu takes care of all the complicated rendering of the site and make sure it all looks good on the site. So that way, anybody who goes live on Mozu is automatically native. And so for me as a consumer or a marketing manager managing a retail site, I can go in, I set up my products, and I don't have to worry about them being rendered correctly on devices. I can go set up discounts, and I don't have to worry about them being rendered correctly on different devices.
Awesome. Thanks, Susie. Next question I have is for Doug. Doug, what is the typical timeline for the implementation of a Mozu website?
Well, obviously that's going to vary based on the project's requirements. We actually just launched Mozu's first international website, and we completed that project from start to finish in just under 3 months. But I'd say, the typical deployment would probably be about 4 to 6 months, and that would include, the creative, the design portion, the development, the implementation, the integration, right, and then testing and deployment.
Awesome, excellent. Thanks, Doug, and obviously congratulations on the first international website. Susie, the next question is back to you. Site speed directly impacts conversions. How does Mozu ensure sites of all devices are delivered quickly?
All right. Well, so I told you that Mozu is the most modern e-commerce platform out there. It was architected for speed. We use the most modern technology, the most modern coding paradigms. Additionally, when you license Mozu, we provide a CDN, and so that optimizes site performance and delivery speed to the shopper.
Excellent. And just a segue back to that for you, Susie, is I'm interested in streamlining my checkout page. Does Mozu include a template for streamlined checkout?
Yes, it does. Mozu has multiple reference templates to help you get going on your website. And in those, we include checkout templates to help streamline and deliver the features that Christina was talking about.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it doesn't look like we have any more questions coming from the audience, but obviously I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and we hope to see everyone again at a future Mozu and AmericanEagle.com webinar. I do also want to mention, please do not hesitate to reach out to us or any of the speakers at the displayed email addresses if you have any additional questions. With that, have a great day, and thank you again for joining us.